Hi everyone, welcome to class number 16. It's hard to believe we're this far along, but we are. We are in week 10 of the semester, so we're getting there. I'm just going to review, we've covered probably four main topics now. We've done fractions, we've done conversions, we've done perimeter, and we've done area. And I'm just going to point out, I'm still seeing some of you struggle in some certain areas, and I just want to make sure I go over that and that it's clear to everybody. And the first one is when we're reducing fractions. Now your questions probably read, get it to a 16th, right? But what that means is you get it to a 16th and then you reduce it if it will reduce. So for example, if we get an answer like 12/16, you're to reduce that to 3/4. Now remember, your pretty little ABC button will do that for you. So if you're struggling with figuring out how to reduce them at this stage of the game, go ahead and use your ABC button. The second topic we've talked about are conversions, and conversions are not going to go away, so I just want to review a few items here. So this question here, convert inches in decimal to inches in fractions 16. So inches in decimal is what we have, and we're converting it to inches in fraction. So our inches do not change. 16 inches stays the same. We're taking our decimal, we're taking it to a fraction of 16. 0.36 times 16. 5.76. Remember, when we're getting this fraction, that after the decimal, 5 or above, boop, that rounds up to 6. So 6/16, which will reduce to 3/8. Final answer, 16 3/8 of an inch. Inches in decimal to inches in fraction. Okay? Next one, convert 49.61 inches to feet inches in fraction. So we have to do three things here. Step one here is we're going to take our pretty little decimal and we're going to get it to a fraction. We know how to do it. 0.61 times 16. Again, this one is 9.76. So we have to round that up to 10/16, which will reduce to 5/8. When you're doing these, go ahead and write that down so you don't forget it. Okay? Step two, we have to get our inches to feet. We know how to do this. Inches to feet, we divide by 12. So 49 divide 12. We get 4.08 feet. At this stage, I want you to ignore everything after that decimal. Just kick it out. We don't want to see it. Okay? We know we have 4 feet. Again, write it down somewhere. You know you have 4 feet. Okay? Then we have to determine 4 feet is how many inches. So to go feet to inches, we times by 12. And we get 48 inches. So 4 feet has used up 48 of those 49 inches that we have. We would have 1 inch left over, 1 inch. What we gotta get in here is that 49 inches is the same as 4'1". That has to be the same place on your tape measure. So 49.61 inches is the same as 4'1" and 5/8. Okay? These numbers are important because a lot of your blueprints are gonna look like this, and you have to get it to your tape measure. Okay? The next example for conversions is in all feet. Convert 18.32 feet, 2 feet inches in fraction. So this is the one, part of the work's done for us. We know we have 18 feet. Write it down. Then, we're still in feet here, and we have to take feet to inches. Feet to inches, we times by 12. 0.32 times 12, we get 3.84 inches. Right? We know we have 3 inches. Write it down. Then our decimal to a 16th. 0.84 times 16, get 13.44. This one, we don't need to round up. It stays as 13/16. Final answer, 18 feet, 3 13/16. Again, blueprints, tape measure. You're the one who's got to get it to the tape measure. All right, we have also talked about perimeter. And anything with perimeter, we're finding the distance around something, whether it's a square, a rectangle, or a circle. So this one here, find the perimeter of a rectangle, 14 feet 3.5 by 10 feet 9.25. So I drew it out here, my crooked rectangle, but it's there, right? So the easiest way to do these, I know some of you are really taking the long route and I think confusing yourself, going all the inches and then trying to convert it back. The easiest way to do these is add your feet, add your inches, and then add your fractions, and then you're able to convert something if we need to. So to add our feet, 14 plus 14 plus 10 plus 10, we get 48 feet. Okay, gonna write that down right there. Step 2, we add our inches. 9 plus 9 plus 3 plus 3, 24 inches. And then our pretty little fractions. A half plus a quarter would be 1.5 inches. Okay, so right now we have 48 feet, 24 inches, and another 1.5 inches. But we're so smart, we know that 24 inches is the same as 2 feet. So this 48 goes to 50 feet, and then we still have this 1.5 inches left over. So the final answer is 50 feet, 1 1/2 inch. We're just adding up the sides of the room there. Now I'm going to move my magic board. We're going to go through a few more problems. Woo, slick. Alright. So the first sample, and we have done these before, but I just want to make sure everybody's got it. Find the circumference of a pipe with a 12 3/4 inch diameter. Answer in feet, inches, and fractions. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to look at your formula sheet. Circumference. You're going to look at the first part of your formula sheet under perimeter. You're going to look up the formula you need to use, and then we're ready to go. Okay, it's pi times diameter. We're also going to remember we are using the pi button on your calculators there. Okay? So the pi times diameter, you can punch it into your calculator using the ABC button, or you can get that fraction to a decimal and put it in as a decimal. Okay? Our answer there, pi times 12 3/4, 40.055 inches. That number is in inches because this number was in inches. So right now we have 40.06 inches, right? Look at here, answer in feet, inches, and fraction. That should look familiar. So we have 40.06 inches. We're taking our decimal, we're timesing it by 16. The number after the decimal is 5 or above, so that goes to 1/16. Got that part done, write it down. And then we know that 3'4" is the same as 40 inches. So the final answer is 3 feet 4 and 1/16. The key, remember, reading the question. Because I'll guarantee you, you get into a multiple choice exam, 40 and 1/16 is definitely going to be a choice to choose from. But guess what? The question asked us to answer it this way. Alright? Next example, find the area of a circle with a diameter of 2.5 meters. Answer in centimeters squared, 2 decimal places. Right? So we know we have area going on here. But answer in square centimeters, and this number is in what? Meters. So, first thing, we have to convert those numbers to the units that we need to answer in. Okay? So, we take 2.5 and we times it by 100. So our diameter is 250 centimeters. We need half of that for our radius. Radius is always half of the diameter. It doesn't matter whether we're working in circumference or area. Radius is always half the diameter. Divided by 2, we get 125, and now we are ready for our pretty formula, pi r squared. Just remember, a number squared is not times 2, it's times itself. So we end up with pi times 125 times 125. We get this pretty answer here, and look, it said 2 decimal places, so that means 2 numbers after the decimal. The third number is 5 or above, so that gets rounded up. Final answer, we round that to 0.39. Good stuff. We're on fire. Next one, the semicircular sided tank. Yay. Think of the shape of a hockey rink or a racetrack. So calculate the meters squared in a semicircular sided tank with a diameter of 1,000 centimeters and a length of 7 feet. Answer in square meters. Whew, we got a lot going on in this one, don't we? So answer in square meters. So I look at my diameter here, I'm in centimeters. So what do we have to do? We have to get that to meters. But no fear, you know how to do it. Centimeters to meters, we divide by 100. So we just figured out our diameter is 10 meters. We know that our radius is always half the diameter. So 10 divided by 2, our radius would be 5 meters. Our length is 7 feet. We know how to get feet to meters. We divide it by 3.28, and we get 2.13 meters. Okay? All of our numbers now are in the same units. They're in the units how we are expected to answer the question. Now you're ready to use that pretty formula. You're going to look on your formula sheet. You're going to look under area of a semicircular sided tank. Good to go. Pi r squared plus the length times the width. And remember, we're going to do this side of the formula first. We'll hit equals. Then we'll do the other side of the formula, and then we'll add them together. easy stuff. So pi times radius, pi times 5, we get this number here. The other side, length times width, this times this, excuse me, we get this number here. We add the two together, and we end up at 99.88 square meters, okay? So, just remember the little things, make sure you read the question, make sure you understand how you're supposed to answer the question, and when you're working with area, always get your numbers to the same units before you start. See you next time.